Okay guys, it is time for a new update here on the Bitcoin price, and I can already tell you today we are going to take a look at the bigger time frames, because as we know, the big players, we talked about it in our last video, are accumulating stable coins at a massive rate. So where are they planning to supply that capital into the market and buy back into cryptocurrencies? Bitcoin most likely the most portion of it. Guys, we are going to talk about that. We are going to look at the biggest time frames possible here in today's video. On the monthly time frame, we are going to take an exact look at the Bitcoin chart as well as Ethereum, but also I want to take a look at the total market cap of cryptocurrencies and also the total market cap of cryptocurrencies excluding Bitcoin, to really find out how far we can go and how a dump could look like if we see a final drawdown, now that we also saw on the smaller time frames the bearish breakout out of our rising wedge and a rejection of our very important resistance zone at the $17,500 to $18,000 level. Besides that, guys, at the end of the video I will actually choose the winners of the $500 giveaway. As you know, till Christmas, as a little surprise here in the bear market, I'm giving away $500 worth of Bitcoin in each and every single of my videos. All you have to do to win is actually write a comment below with the Bitcoin address you want to get the $500 sent to, and that's already it. That's how you can take part. Besides the giveaway, you don't have to do that to win, but I always appreciate that. You could smash up a like and subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. The winners of the last video will be chosen at the end live and will also get their $500 in BTC sent live. But now let's talk about all the on-chain datas and stuff like that that is actually bringing us to a very concrete conclusion on what to expect from the markets now in the upcoming days and weeks. On Bitcoin, as said, we talked about it in our last video. We broke down on the smaller time frames. I mean, for sure, to find out if this scenario we are now talking about on the bigger time frames is going to happen, we need to keep the lower time frames in mind. But still, let's take a look at the weekly time frame first, and you will see how everything plays together here. On the weekly time frame, we still have also our important resistance of $17,500 to $18,000, but most importantly, we still have a very important downward sloping support on the weekly time frame, down here around the $14,500 to $14,700 level, depending on how fast we could expect now a final sell-off. As you guys know, we have been talking about this for months. $16,000 to $14,000 is my bottom range for this bear market after we broke below the very important weekly 11-year support, $22,000. That was the first price that we could have expected the bear market to end, but sadly it was broken to the downside. So now $16,000 to $14,000, that's the absolute minimum, just because a few other things are coming into play. We are going to talk about that with the on-chain data in a second. But what we can see here is that on Bitcoin, looking at the monthly timeframes, and the big players are definitely looking at timeframes like the weekly, the monthly, even the 3-month chart to make their buy decision or sell decision in the cryptocurrency markets, especially for Bitcoin, since it is an asset with the longest chart history in the cryptocurrency space, right? And what we can see here is that in combination with them accumulating stable coins, looking to buy at a certain price, right, which is not known to us so far, we can expect that they are most likely looking at the monthly timeframes and are potentially looking to place buy orders, what we can also see in the order books right now happening a little bit already, around the $14,000 to $14,600 level, which would be our old monthly high close in the bull market and our monthly wick in the 2019 run above the $14,000 level for a very short amount of time, for only 2 or 3 days, I think. But as I remember correctly. But we can expect by Bitcoin then only like a 12% drop now here in the worst case, maybe a quick wick below the downward sloping support that I just showed you on the weekly, and we would come in at the bottom of $13,600, $14,500 in the worst case, and we can expect a very quick reversal then, because the capital most likely will get deployed. That is now then on the sidelines still for this final move to the downside to be deployed. We need to keep in mind here that this final sell-off will be with a lot of fear, because people have been talking about already price targets like $10,000, $6,000, and for me, I don't think these price targets, as I've been telling you, are going to come true. But what we need to keep in mind here is that when we are falling down, when we are getting close to the $14,500 levels, big panic can occur. We don't know how many long positions will be liquidated at that stage, because a lot of people are opening long positions now with too high leverages. As you guys know, our swing long positions that we have open are only using a 4x leverage at these current prices to have our liquidation price below the $13,000 level. But still, we don't know how many people will get liquidated there. It can be a big panic, so the wick to the downside can be quite large in a final capitulation move in this current bear market. And what we will see there is that already when we are looking at Ethereum, I mean, yeah, we broke below very important support here on the weekly time frame just recently, but what we can see here is that also for Ethereum, we are at the old all-time high already here in this price zone. So also for Ethereum, probably we don't need to expect a super large dump to occur. We talked about it in the last video also, that Ethereum just had one of the record days in address activity for the last 17 months. So the Ethereum network is very active. So the worst case here also possible, probably like the $800,000 level, but that would already be, for me, the worst case scenario here for Ethereum, for a very harsh pull down if Bitcoin comes down. But what's much more interesting is that most likely, since we still see an overperformance of altcoins, the altcoins have still grown a little bit stronger than Bitcoin in comparison with the last bull market. And a lot of these projects are running into financial issues. A lot of these projects don't have real liquidity anymore. So once tokens are actually get sold off, they dump very, very quickly. And what we can see here is, looking at the total market cap already, that even though we only need to expect a slight above 10% dump for Bitcoin, we already would need, for the monthly time frame to reach significant support for the total crypto market cap, we would already need to see a total of a 22% dump. What does this mean? This means I'm getting a phone call right now, but we will just ignore it. I hope you don't hear it here in the video. But 22% down for the total cryptocurrency market cap. What does this mean now? This means that altcoins would need to correct way harder. So what we would need to see now is that when we are looking at the total market cap of all altcoins, excluding Bitcoin, that there would need to be even a stronger dump needed to reach the monthly support levels here for altcoins. And that would actually be a 30% correction from the current price levels. So we can expect that when panic hits, that especially the altcoins will take a harder hit. So what I'm looking out for is actually, because as you know, in my HODL portfolio, I always have around 15% of altcoins besides my Bitcoin and Ethereum holdings. And I'm actually potentially looking to scoop up some cheap altcoins if this final dump occurs for my altcoin portfolio, just because it is to be expected that altcoins will take a harder hit in a final correction to the downside. But now, guys, over the next couple of days, I will keep you updated. We will take a look at the smaller timeframes. We will take a look at the important support levels that we need to hold there to not see that final sell-off. But you now have a big picture of the bigger timeframes, and you know what to expect if that final sell-off occurs, because we are in a bear market and we are not taking only trading decisions here, but these can also be opportunities for our HODL portfolio to increase our altcoin holdings, and that's why I'm talking about it here also in today's video. Just as a small side note here, before we are going over and choosing the winners from our last video, I mean, we can also see that the average long-term Bitcoin holder is now in a loss, right? This happened during the Corona dump and also during the 2018 crash. We are now in a much longer loss already, and we are lower than in 2018, but that doesn't mean that the bottom now is already in, because we had something that a lot of people are not accounting for. We had a double run this bull market, yeah? And we can see here the profit was extremely high for the 5-year traders, right? When we reached here these peak areas where the first all-time high was, where the complete all-time high for this last bull market should have been. We saw a correction, people sold, took profits, and then we saw this second massive run to the upside, which only was pretty much mainstream media pushing everything, right? We had all of the Elon Musk, Michael Saylor. We saw massive mainstream attention, massive pushes, and we saw this massive second FOMO uprun, which was not the real bull market anymore. We saw it on-chain data. We talked about it months ago already, and over and over again, that on-chain data showed that the whales were not active here in this run anymore. They were already starting to accumulate stablecoins. They were already going out of the market all the time here. And what we can see is that in the second run, already the 5-year holders were in a much lesser profit even though the run was higher. This was because they took profits and bought in at higher prices again, so the average entry price moved up. That's why we are now here actually for this stat in a higher loss and in a loss for a longer time already. This still doesn't mean that we cannot see here a final correction. This definitely means we are close to the bottom, but we can still see this final 12% correction for Bitcoin, potential 15 to 25% correction for most altcoins out there. So we really need to keep that in mind here also a little bit. But now, guys, that's it for the content for today. Tomorrow I will speak about a few mistakes that I did, because as you guys know, I'm uploading videos on YouTube since 2017 on my German channel. I mean, this English channel here is very new. It's only a year old. Thank you for all the support, by the way. But we need to keep in mind here, I was in crypto since 2016. I saw one bull market, one bear market, one full bull market. Now again, a little bit of a different one, a bigger one. And yeah, another bear market now almost, because the bear market is about to end sooner or later. So what we can really conclude here is a lot of mistakes that I did over that time, and I want to talk about that in tomorrow's video, because I think a lot of stuff can be learned from, for example, stuff I did in 2018 that I already did different now, where the changes are and how it worked out and stuff like that. So maybe this is something interesting to you, because I know that a lot of you guys are also just having a hodl portfolio and not only trading actively. But now, guys, let's choose the winners. We are copying the link from the YouTube video if you want to take part here in today's one. As you know, just leave a comment down below. You only need to leave a comment below to win. There's nothing else needed actually to win. I am excluding duplicate people, so if you are using multiple YouTube accounts, same IP, whatever, I think this site is able to track that, because we have a lot less unique comments than on the real page. So now that is the winner. He sadly, yes, he said, love you, bro. Yeah, thank you very much for that kind comment. And yeah, congratulations to you. I hope your love to me only rises now in a good way, because I'm sending you now here $500, which is a very, very good amount of BTC actually in the current bear market. So if we see a big run up, if we see a next big bull run, if we're going to new all-time highs, this can actually turn into thousands of dollars here for the winners over the next couple of days till Christmas. So keep in mind to comment down below your Bitcoin address to win. Keep in mind, guys, you only need to comment to win. The only thing you need to do is comment. But besides that, if you want to do so, you can also like the video and subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And especially tomorrow's video is very interesting to watch, just because we are talking about a few learning experiences that, if you are a little bit newer to crypto, are maybe very, very helpful to you to navigate this current bear market. We are going to see us in the next one. Thank you for your support. Bye-bye.